Divorce, separation, marriage, and children. I'm doing this video because I get a lot of requests or questions or people wanting me to help them navigate challenging times in their marriages. A certified marriage counselor, family life practitioner, but however, it's not my specialism. The reason I'm doing this video is because of the area where it concerns the children. So I'm not going to tell you to divorce your husband or not divorce your husband, except of course if there's violence in the marriage, and even at that, or severe emotional abuse, those sort of things, financial abuse. You know what abuse is, and even at that, I'm just going to point you to the obvious. Now, a lot of people are in distress in their marriages. A lot of people will say that when people are not together, that their marriage has failed. However, the people that are in family units and living in the same house and their marriages have failed, um, one of the reasons is because they are not living in unity and it's affecting the children in their care. So recently, my daughter left home to college, and she's doing her own thing by the grace of God, and I'm really happy about the child that I've raised. I'm very happy and content. Now that my nest is empty and there's actually room for me to adopt a child and raise another child. I can even have another child. I'm not that old. If I choose to, but it's not what I fancy. However, I've thought to myself, Ronke, and these are the questions that people ought to ask themselves when they get married and want to have children, irrespective of their ages, even if they're 19, 23, 44. Do you have the capacity to raise a child? It takes a lot. I gave my daughter my all, as much as I could. By the grace of God, I gave everything. And I'm so grateful to God for Him solidifying everything and making it so beautiful now. I'm so proud of the woman that she has become. I feel I've done such an amazing job. And sometimes I question myself, can I do it again? I teach parenting. It's not if I don't know the skills or the things or the tools to, or what to do. I do. However, do I have the time? Do I have the energy? Am I interested in even doing it all over again? That's the reality. I might change my mind in a few weeks, I might change my mind in a few months, or I might change my mind in a few years. But right now, do I have the capacity to do it? And the answer is a big fat no. I cannot do it. I am not interested right now in bringing a child into the world or adopting one, because my mind is not going to be on the child right now. There's so many projects that I want to engage in. There's so many things that I want to do, and I really want to renew my mind and refresh my mind, the things that I'm asking God for right now. The child will never be a priority in my life at the moment. However, you find people having children with the same concerns. However, they're doing it for society. They're doing it so that they can have 3 children. They can do it so that they don't have only one child. They are doing it for their mother-in-law, for their mothers. They're doing it because everybody in their family or their friends, they all have 2 children or 4 children. They're doing it for the wrong reasons. They're all cosmetic reasons. You must have a good reason why you want to bring a child into the world. And so, when people are in those sort of toxic marriages, they stay there because they want to have the Mr. Married man status, or they want to have the Mrs. Married woman title and status. But they are suffering. A lot of them might not have money. The man might be abusing them physically, verbally, emotionally, psychologically, sexually, in different kind of way, putting them down, not allowing them to work, not allowing them to live and become. Especially in our side of the world where we have a lot of men that are very insecure, completely insecure. The minute your wife is doing something, if you have a husband that completely supports the things that God has asked you to do, your vision, your dream, your goals, and the man is supporting you, just clap for the person. Clap and celebrate the person. It's beyond that. I'm sure you know that it's just so, it's not, celebrate that man, celebrate that woman that is actually partnering with you and helping you to achieve your dreams. You do get to a point sometimes where a man and a woman have been in each other's lives, and after a while, things are not working again. They are both good people, because people divorce does not mean that they are bad people. Things may not just be working out anymore, and they go their separate ways. There was this analogy that I listened to online once, and it made so much sense. And it was about a rocket that has been sent to space. Now think about the rocket when you watch it on TV. When it's being sent to space, it is just going into the sky. Yeah, going up and up and up. And after a while, you find that it opens up like that. And those things that open up are called boosters, or maybe they're not. Maybe that's not a technical name, but when they open up, remember, and then they fall off, the rocket becomes lighter, and then it propels further into space, into the sky, into the universe. Now, what is happening there is something that you can relate to humans. You can have two good people flying up into the sky, doing an amazing job. After a while, one, it gets too heavy, one has to go. You have to release so that that other person is going further and further and further, whether together, whether independently, but one is going. It does happen where you don't make that journey alone. Good people can be dropped from your life. They don't always have to continue. Now, people are going to say, am I encouraging divorce? I'm not. At the moment, I'm not divorced yet. I'm not divorced. So, but the important thing I'm trying to get to you, to get the message I'm trying to get across to you is that you must understand that divorce is not God's plan. However, there are reasons and exceptions to the rule. There are times when divorce is allowed. God hates divorce is what somebody's going to quote to you. However, he does not hate the divorcee. God hates divorce. He does not hate the divorcee. God does not want us to raise our children in a toxic environment. The thief comes to steal, to kill, to destroy. God has come to give us life and an abundant life. So, how are you giving your children an abundant life in a toxic environment when they're seeing their dad and mom scream at each other, hit each other, yell at each other, and there's hardly any peace in the home? And if this is happening and or has been happening repeatedly in your home, you might want to see somebody like me to speak to you, have a discovery session. You can book a session with me, and also with your children, especially those grown children. Don't think that, oh, it's passive, because nothing's happening to them. It does traumatize many children. So it does traumatize many children. So I keep saying that, do you have the capacity to raise children? Do you have the right environment? Do you have the right partner? Are you in the marriage just because you want people to say you are married, or you are even perhaps financially unable to look after yourself, so you just want to stay in the marriage because you want a man to look after you, or you want a woman to look after you, because we have men like that these days. Online today, I still saw somebody talking about keeping money away from the man, and she used to pay a lot of things, and then the man was just spending the money. She was paying so many bills because she thought, okay, that's the way it should be, a supportive wife. But she found that the man wasn't, wasn't picking up on his own side, despite the fact that he was earning. So she decided to cut. She said she used 50%. She said, I started doing less than 50% in the home, and now he can see how much work and how much effort, and there's so many dynamics in marriages, and that's one of the reasons why I'm not even interested in marriage counseling, marriage advice, because everybody has their own unique relationship, and what works for A in marriages does not work for B in marriages. And it is quite different for parenting. That parenting, there are a lot of things that work when you're parenting your children. If you show them love, you will see love. With marriages, you can show love and get hate back. So you can be showing love and then the other one is cheating on you, and you're getting mixed signals and all sorts of things are happening. So I don't even like to get involved in those sort of things. So what is the message today? The message is today, it's always, for me, you can't parent properly if your mental state is challenged, if you're always fighting in your relationship, if things are not working well, if you're resentful. Some people, they have this happy front, and other people, when they divorce, they're like, oh, what happened? Some people have this happy front, and then the children are suffering behind the scenes. So as much as you can protect your children, I will not say leave, I will not say stay. You will be able to make up that decision by yourself. You will not lie to yourself except if you hate yourself. If you know the truth will hopefully set you free. Ensure that those young children are raised in as sterile an environment as possible so that they can see what a loving father looks like, and who a loving mother is, because we are going to represent God in the lives of our children. We're going to be the one that's going to represent the Alpha, the Omega, the caring God, the loving God, the provider, the protector. So if they see you as someone that is violent and aggressive and doing all those sort of things, it can be a bit too much for children. So you need to shield your children. Because the marriage has not worked out does not mean you're a failure. Some people say it has failed, the marriage failed. I don't tend to say the marriage failed because you can be together in a toxic environment, in a toxic marriage, and that's a failure because you are traumatizing your children. However, you can be in separate homes and cohabit and have a good arrangement, and the children are thriving, and they will thrive because children are not being raised in what we used to term the nuclear family. Does not necessarily mean that they will not turn out all right. So back to my own example, I wouldn't want to bring a child right now, and I'm very careful with my words because I never say never. I might change my mind, but for now, because of the things that I want to do, because of the peace I want to enjoy, because of the travel I want to do, because of the projects I want to do, I don't mind having little kids here, maybe friends of my children or my aburos, my younger ones that I know in the community, come around and hang out with me, and then go back to their moms and dads to look after them. I'm not going to do anything long term because I'm not ready for it, and I'm not in that frame of mind for it. You know, people have like 3 children under the age of 8, and I did read in the papers once in one of these journals about a lot of moms running a high risk of mental health challenges when they have so many that many number of children in their care because of all the activities, all the things that are happening all around them. And then you find in Nigeria that a lot of people would subcontract or outsource their parenting to domestic workers to look after their children. You know, my daughter didn't have a nanny growing up. I parented her to the glory of God just as I would have loved. We did have people come and clean the house and stuff, but bathing her or touching her or all sort of things, no. She was raised by her dad and her mom, and that's what we wanted, and that's what we got. It came with its sacrifices, but the beauty that we got and the results that we got, eventually, we are really, really thankful to God for it. Now, I wanted to do it. I wanted to raise this girl. I had the time. I had the resources. I wanted to do it. Do I want to do it now? Mm-mm. Do I have the resources? Mm-mm. Yeah. Am I keen? Am I going to be ever present? Because children see time as love. Do I have that time to devote to a child right now? Mm-mm. I don't. And if I can answer those questions, I'll be able to be honest enough to know that this child deserves better than me right now. And that's the truth. The child deserves better than me right now. Maybe in a few years, the matter might change, that I keep saying. However, for now, can't do it. I can't do it. So, as much as you can, if you're separated, if you're divorced, still continue to maintain a healthy, clean, non-toxic relationship. Try not to be abusive of your spouses because you will begin to look bad in front of the children. Try your best not to fight, not to argue. If you must, make sure your children are not around. Don't paint a picture of the other partner as ugly in front of your children. It backfires, so you don't want to do that. You can still raise healthy, whole children in separate environments, in separate homes, and they will do well and they will thrive. They will be successful. God is still going to bless them. They will not be condemned and all those religious things that Africans say. And maybe not some, even some people that are not Africans are still that as ignorant as that. So yeah, that's my message today. I hope you found value, and I will speak to you soon. Ronkeposh.